afternoon, everybody. I am Zach from Forge. We're here today with Chris at Performance Remaps. We have got Jake's lovely MK7 GTI, a bit of his pride and joy. He dailies it, but also gets a lot of track use of it. He's just been to the Nürburgring and we've been speaking with him. He's got a stage 1 map on it already, a fair few goodies on it already as well, exhaust. He's got our catch can on it. He's got a, what was it? Was it a Helix paddle clutch? Helix paddle clutch. He's running that as well, so it's a nice daily, nice fun daily. But we are helping Jake out. We're looking at what we can do on the induction side of things. So we're going to be fitting our MK7.5 That's our open cone intake for this, along with our high flow inlet pipe and our upgraded intercooler. We used to have one, we've discontinued that now, and we only offered a larger version. I think it's INT32. So we're going to be fitting that back at the factory. We'll show you some clips of that going on. We're getting a load of content with Jake's car, and then we'll be back here with Chris mapping it at the end of the week. So keep an eye out. I hope you guys like the video, and let's see what power it gets. Okay, so we're back at Forge now with some good dyno runs with Chris. We had 3.9, 3.10 and 3.12 horsepower at the crank, 296 at the wheels. So good result, 269 at the wheels, sorry, is good. Good, I got AJ telling me what's going on, he's a stats man. But yeah, so we're gonna get it in. We've got, as I said, our cooling packages going on this to set up, and then a few other fun goodies for Jake, fitting our short shifter and quick shifter to it, so reduce the throw. We've got our valve going on it as well, so nice few extra bits for him. But yeah, let's crack on, start taking it apart, get everything fitted. Okay, so the car is in the workshop now. I'm here with Paul. I don't really know what I'm doing that much, so Paul's going to carry out the entire install. I know that we've got a lot of parts for Jake that Paul's going to run you through. I know a lot of them are level 1 as well, which we're going to do some other videos on our driveway mechanic series. So we'll link them in somewhere into this clip. But for now, I'm going to hand you over to Paul because he knows what he's doing. Here you go, lad.
Cheers, mate. Right, yeah, so today we're going to fit quite a few products from our portfolio of tuning upgrades for the Golf MK7 and MBQ platforms. Customer uses Golf for track days and fast road use. So one of our best products for trying to get maximize the most amount of power out of the 2-litre TSI engine, our front mount intercooler. So this is in its second incarnation now, 60mm core, larger in and outlets, and we even supply it with larger diameter silicone hoses. So this is a real good modification. I'll talk you through some more of the unique points on this later on as we're going through the install. We're also going to be fitting MK7.5, which is our entry-level intake. Works really well, sounds really good, especially when combined with our enlarged turbo inlet adapter. This is the best value product for this platform. That is a must-buy as a pair, in my opinion. Two cracking products. We're also going to put the muffler delete in. It's well worth installing. Gets rid of the restriction in the hot side of the turbo. Our trusty dump valve for reliability, and for a little bit of extra response for the turbo. Heat management, so we're going to put one of our turbo blankets on. A really good product. Pain in the ass to fit, but it's a good product. And finally, we're going to be putting a short shifter on just to make the gear selection just a little bit more positive, just a little bit shorter than the factory, which is it's a nice thing. The Golf gearbox isn't bad. The clutches can be a bit funny on them, but the gear selector is definitely honed in just nicely with our short shifter kit. So yeah, we've got quite a bit of work on, so we'll talk you through as we go. Right, okay, so we're fitting the intercooler. That's probably going to be where we're going to start with this. So all front end's got to come off, but we also are replacing the intake, but we need to remove the intake to fit the intercooler anyway. So we're going to start here, a couple of fasteners on the top, and remove the 2 hose clamps on the intake pipe, and then we'll be able to lift all that factory intake out of the way, and we can start going on through there. Remove the under tray, fasteners at the lower part of the bumper, and there's 2 fasteners behind there. So after we remove the 2 fasteners on the top, it is just a sharp tug off the vehicle, and then if your car is equipped with AAC cruise, adaptive cruise, wiggle this plug, 2 fasteners, push them in, pulls out, and then, right, this car has already had the bumper off at some point because the fasteners are actually missing on this one, so I'll reinstate those because we hold those in stock on the shelf. Right, okay, so with our intercooler kit, you do get new hoses, and actually this is quite a good thing. This vehicle starting to get a little bit older, and the oil degradation you get inside these turbo boost pipes, they are super squidgy. Look at that, super squidgy. So it's the oil breaking down the rubber, and now with the Forge Motorsport silicone hose, these are fluoro lined and they're 5-ply. These are a much stronger, but crucially, the oil can't break down the material to make it soft and susceptible to splitting. So that's why we put all the plies in there. It's a much stronger, and you can see, look at that, nice gain in internal diameter on that, right down to the bottom there. So it's worthwhile replacing boost pipes, even if you're not doing intercooler. Boost pipes, when you start tuning vehicles, a bit more boost up them. The silicone hose kits, you know, I always recommend Forge, but even, you know, there are other competitors as well. It's a very worthwhile modification to any tuned vehicle, or even standard vehicle actually, you know, seeing as the manufacturers can't stock a lot of these hoses, so it's well worth changing. Holding the factory intercooler and the rad paddle to this framework. You can try squeezing them and getting them out in one, or what I normally do is just cut them and sacrifice them, because the Forge intercooler kit comes with new versions of these clips anyway, so they're going to be surplus. So to speed it up, you can just literally cut these tabs in half and then it will come away quite easily. Because what you can end up doing sometimes is trying to get this out in one piece, you end up damaging this framework, which you don't want to do. As your coolant radiator is held on now, on the top where these clips now. use a flat blade, push it down, and then put some pressure to part the two. So down on the tab, again, so as these cars get older, it gets a bit more brittle. So maybe a bit of housekeeping on this one. Get the hoover right, I think. So right, we're at this pivotal moment now where we're going to remove the original intercooler and get ready to install the new Forge INT32. So this one now remove quite easily now. There we go. So there we are, one factory, the MBQ VW intercooler. Now we do a bit of a comparison. So we'll sit this one over here. And here is the Forge equivalent. So it's quite clear to see the gains that have been made here. With the Forge intercooler, we've got a much thicker core now, bar and plate construction, cast end tanks, so very good for high boost levels. Our previous generation intercooler was good for sort of stage 2, like full 50-ish brake horsepower. With this new generation of intercoolers, this will take you well above that. So if you've got hybrid turbos or big turbo builds, this intercooler is capable of managing large horsepowers. So, you know, if we're seeing customers with 600 horsepower builds, no problem with this new intercooler. We've also now changed, I'll show you a bit better there. So internal baffle there, so that pushes air to use all of the core. That's a really good feature. You'll also note now the factory in and outlets are 63 mil, and now we've beefed these up to 76 mil. So again, these work perfectly. I mean, it works fine on a standard car, but really on a tuned vehicle, this really is a must now. Very good at keeping down IETs. It's got real good flow. We've been really pleased with this. But one of its best features, especially if you're fitting this to an Audi S3 facelift or to a Seat Leon, it fits without modification. Something this vast and big fits snugly. Snugly is a tight fit, but you do not have to modify the vehicle to install this product. So, which makes it quite an exclusive thing, really. So we're now going to crack on and install this to the Golf. So when installing the new Forge intercooler, we supply the two new mounting brackets. So when installing these, check the orientation of the original and match it up. Now, we've had people in the past say to us, oh, they don't fit, they're not in the right orientation. Well, the rubber housing in here will push out, and then again you can turn it round to different orientations depending on how they need to be and how they fit. This one is right, it just pushes on the side. The same with this one here. So now that is ready to go. I'm going to push that in and we'll screw the intercooler. So these can be reused on a standard intercooler if you haven't even put it back to standard. Also, at the back of the intercooler, we supply these machined aluminium bosses here. Put one on each side, and this is where you drop the rad pack back into this channel, and then it clicks and homes into the top cutouts here. And then once it's in place, tighten both fasteners up to clamp it all in and keep it nice and tight and snug. Also supplied with the kit are two posi drive fasteners and two penny washers. Now we'll use these later. These attach to the intercooler thusly, and this brings this into the sort of rad pack framework, if you will, and it homes it nice and tightly. But also this fastener here So once we've mounted the air conditioning condenser onto the front on its 4 mounting points, this fastener goes in that top corner there to keep it in place and stop it popping out. So keeps everything nice and tight, but it's the easier solution. Is all in as it should be. So the second part of the puzzle is to now get the rad pack. Get that one in there. It's a bit of a wriggle. There we go. That one's in. All in position. The fasteners that we talked about earlier hold everything in place. So now we're starting to put the vehicle all back together again. When putting the vehicle back up in the air, we are now going to fit our Forge silicone hoses that come with our intercooler. They are a little bit tight to get on. They're a snug fit, so some trim shine or some lubricant, soapy water, whatever, inside the hose just to help it slide on, and they'll fit on perfectly. And then once in place, use the new supplied hose clamps and torque them up appropriately. We're now going to fit our short shifter kit as we have all the airbox out the way. When fitting our short shifter kit for the MBQs, you'd have to take the factory airbox out to access the gear linkage, which is just here. So, flat blade screwdriver to prise this little clip off, pull that up and it'll slide out as in the horseshoe style, and a 13mm socket and ratchet to loosen off the centre nut there, and then we're going to slightly manipulate it out and off the gearbox. So we need to take this retaining clip for the side-to-side shifter, which is down there, and this prizes off, and that will allow us access to remove that now. Remove the centre nut, like so. To get the linkage off, it's actually just a case of just manipulating it and rocking it to actually it comes out. Maybe a bit of penetration fluid on the top to try and like allow access, but yeah, don't worry too much. It's got a keyway in it, so you can't get it in the wrong position. Okay. Side to side shifter removed as well. So with our short shifter kit, you see it's very similar to the OE. Again, it's a cast product, but we machine out this scallop in there to create the groove, and that's where our cable pin will mount, and it will be able to adjust from here to there to tailor the shift to your set requirements. And with our shifter, we supply 3 different cable ends depending on which era of VAG you've got. That's, we've got the ball, and these 2 have got cutouts in there. So all you need to do is just match up the pin, which is that one there. And from the kit now, quite simply, we're going to tighten this pin and we will lock it into its desired location. I usually say 50% is, you know, halfway down is like where it feels best, but it's all personal preference. Set that and then we'll mount it back onto the vehicle. So just use a 16mm spanner. The aero nut sits in this little channel which has been machined perfectly to trap it. So the beauty of this is, once we've installed this to the vehicle, you've only got to slacken the top of the nut very slightly to then adjust it. So unlike other products, sometimes you have to take the whole kit back off to adjust it, but this, it's a quite straightforward adjustment on this product. So we are also going to be fitting our side-to-side shifter, and in the kit get a new guide, and again same, you get an option of several different cable adapters, so again marry it up to the original, and we're just going to lock this in using our aero nut. Again, notice we use aero nuts and not nylocks, so they can't melt and start slackening off. So again, you can adjust your pivot point to make your side to side a little bit sweeter, a little bit more accurate. I wouldn't go full tilt on it because it can then all get a little bit notchy, frankly. So again, just slacking it off a little bit, so I'd say 50% on both, gives the whole gearbox a tighter, more mechanical feel. So that's what we're going to do on this one. So with the use of a 13 and your 16 again, there we go, nip that up, and that is now ready to be reinstalled onto the vehicle. So with both shifters, we supply grease. So this is to go on the end of any pivot point, and even dab a little bit on your tracks on here. Just keeps everything nice and slick and lubricated well. Side to side, we supply new shims with the kit. These go on when putting the shifter on. Now we put the shifter on, put the shim on the shifter, and then install. And then the other side of the shifter, we will slide this on just like so. And that is ready to have the aero nut. So we'll put our new clip on like so. These are an absolute fit to fit, but it will come. There we go. Wait till you hear it click, and you know that is then ready to go and ready for the next part. And again, supplied in the kit. There we go. So that's now all complete. So now we've got our side to side. It's in but left loose at the moment. We're not going to fasten it in because at this point we now need to install the backwards and forwards motion shifter. Okay, now as I said before, don't worry, this has got a keyway on it, so just take your time. There's a larger cutout here and that'll line up on here, so just drop it round and just, that's it, hover it around and then it will slowly just drop into place. There should be no force in, and then push your side to side plastic track. We're going to the side of the backwards and forwards shifter, push everything into place, and now we're ready to fasten everything back up. I'll centre that, just do hand tight for now. Just keep everything in place. And then supplied in the kit, we have 3 clips in the grooves of the pins. Okay. Push on. There we go. And the final one on here. That reuses the original, and now we'll tighten that up with a ratchet again, and that'll be our installation complete. So we're now at the point where we're going to install our muffler delete pipe. This takes out the restriction of the original. They're held in with 3 M6 fasteners, and there's a pipe that goes up to the discharge pipe, and we've got a rubber hose. So all we do with that is, again, just with a 7mm or a flathead, slacken these off to manipulate the pipe. There's also a Torx 30 here. We need to slacken that off, and then that allows us to remove the pipe from the muffler. So once we've done that, we can then remove the 3 fasteners, which I've already, light blue Peter, already done. So last one, and now we'll be able to take out. So here's the original muffler. So we can get rid of all these chambers here and increase the size. So that'll go on. Just helps a bit spool up a bit quicker. Good cheap modification for the MBQ platform. So we're going to reinstall now. It doesn't take too long. Once you've got the airbox out and the turbo elbow off, these is probably around about 30 to 40 minutes in total job, really. But make sure the engine is cool, otherwise you burn your hands off. Yeah, so a top tip when reinstalling this hose, there is a marker on the rubber hose itself there. That lines up with the marker that's on the hard pipe. So that then allows you to get it in the right orientation, which makes fitting much easier, and also shows you which side is the right side. So it's quite handy. So 10 on 10 Volkswagen for that. Sorted. So now we're going to install our atmospheric dump valve to the 2-litre TSI. Is a great little bit of kit, especially on a tuned vehicle like this one. So this is running stage 1-ish sort of power. The beauty of these is you can change spring rates in this, real straightforward, just buzz off the top. And then we have different spring options depending on how much boost you are running. So you can tune these to your desired level, really. So it just helps, especially with a tuned vehicle. They're quite a good little modification. Factory diverter valves at its age normally, where the diaphragms start to fail. So we see that these are extremely reliable, fully serviceable. And again, as I say, once you really start turning the wick up, you can start to bleed boost. So with our product, it definitely helps, and it stops losing boost from bleed out. And also, as a byproduct, this one's an atmospheric one, so this is going to have some cool sounds and add a bit of character to the pretty dull 2-litre TSI engine. So it's before installing though, there are 2 grooves here. Make sure fit the O-rings. So in the kit we get 2 O-rings, and they simply drop in. They simply drop in like that. So make sure they're pushed tight in the recess, and check the orientation. And this is going to go onto the turbo. So we're going to unplug, remove the 3 fasteners. Our valve goes on like so, and then we'll plumb it all up with this solenoid and the vacuum hose in. Right, so the next product we are going to install is our enlarged turbo elbow. This particular model is the INLH Mark 7, but we also do the TIA1 for left-hand drive vehicles, and we also do a whole host of TIA products for the Evo 4 engine. So we do TIA5 and TIA9 for the larger output Evo 4 engines, and we do TIA6 for the smaller turbo Evo 4 platform. So this is now becoming one of the choice modifications to any turbocharged vehicle. Enlarging the turbo inlet tract combined with a aftermarket air intake system, we're seeing good gains, especially again on a tuned vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and fit the INLH Mark 7 to the turbo now, and we start off with this beautiful machine coupler. This simply fits on in orientation, and you twist it and it can't come off. Then we mount the silicone hose to the coupler. So we'll go ahead and do that. So it simply pushes on, and you just twist it. Now once it's twisted, that can't come off. And when the silicone hose is mounted to it, that will stay as it is. So that now is nice and tight. There's a bit of a squeeze initially, but it will fit in like so. And that will mount on. So leave that loose for now, as we're going to change its location when fitting the intake. This pipe here, we simply just pull it back and cable tie it back there, and that just keeps it off the hose then. So this customer has chosen our INDK44, which is our entry-level intake for the MBQ platform. Works really well. We have this alley heat shield which links up to the original ducting, and then has one of our nanofiber filters connecting up to our turbo inlet hose there. It can also work with the original inlet hose, but trust me on this, it's well worth buying that before anything else. That is a really, really good product. So, but when combined with the two, not only will it sound really good, you're going to see some definite performance gains from this. We also do our premier product, which is the INDK40, which is a beautiful carbon fiber intake. Not only does it look stunning, and it really does, it really enhances the look of the engine bay. They sound really good. Composite, so it gives that nice little tang under hard acceleration. It's a beautifully made product. So, and again, good power gains with that as well, because that's completely concealed and gets a very good cold air path to the filter. We're going to reinstall the original air ducting from our intercooler installation, so I can go back to how it was, because we're going to, on the K44, we're going to use this part, whereas if you buy K40, that comes with a new enlarged inlet track, so that's good. And this lines up with, there we go. So you've got 3 mounting points on this heat shield here. So again, I'd always lubricate the rubbers up so it just pops over. They've got real strong barbs on these, so it ain't going anywhere. And then the air duct connects up lovely with the factory OE air intake there. And now I'm going to grab our alley pipe. If you are going to fit INDK44 using the original plastic inlet pipe, it is essential that you fit this P-clip like so, with the supplied fasteners, and with that installed and tightened, that just gives it extra rigidity, because the OE plastic inlet hose is very, very flimsy, so we've added that as an extra support. However, if you are fitting our silicone inlet hose products, or anyone else's for that matter, you don't need to fit that. That's just there just to demonstrate how it fits on if you're going to use an OE hose. But trust me on this, do not keep the original OE hose. That is a very good area for performance gains. Rightio. So that is our installation complete now. All the products are now fitted to the vehicle. The Golf is now going to be taken back to the dyno with Zach and AJ now, and they're going to show you and prove factually what these products have done. However, that is only half of the equation, isn't it? So what we're going to do now, we're going to go for a bit of a test drive and just show you how this feels on the road now. Feel how nice the gear linkage feels. How does it feel? Can you notice a difference? So we're going to go for a little scunt in it and just try and describe how this now feels. So yeah, we're going to get out of the workshop and go for a blast in it. Right, so here we are testing this Golf. Now we've finished, and all the new Forge parts are installed, and just see how it feels. And actually, I am a good person to be a judge of character on this, because everyone at Ford seems to love a Volkswagen, where I personally still think it's a Bible. I'm not a big Volkswagen fanboy, so if anyone's going to be negative, it'd probably be me. So straight away, short shifter. Yeah, that makes a huge difference. Like, you know, it just feels a bit more accurate now. It's definitely shortened up the throw. We've shortened up the side slightly. Yes, that's a really good mod, that is. It feels mega. feels mega. And again, you can tailor that just how you want it, so brilliant mod. Throttle response, oh yeah, goes well. I don't know whose tune this is on this, but it's a good tune. It's a very good software on it. It's not ours, but it is good. But we've definitely got spooler. You can feel, but it's the pull. You can feel there is definite. We've got a lovely cold day as well, so we've got the best scenario there. It does feel strong, the pull now on this, and then the sound, the intake where it's sucking. You definitely get that. You can feel. Right. Being a cold day though, the tyres haven't woken up yet, so all this wants to do at the moment is dig a hole. So going down through that box is mega. Right, so holy moly, this thing absolutely shovels now. Right, so the noise, you will never ever tire of the noise, honestly, and the performance. The performance is good anyway, let's be honest. It's, you know, once you put a Stageman tune on the rest of the bits and pieces, they go well, but these added bits now, it's super strong. That intercooler, honestly, I know there's loads available, but it fits beautifully and it works so well. It really does. But all of these added pieces, you know, the muffler delete, the intake, the turbo elbow, and the dump valve, yeah. These cars are not known for having a characterful engine. They're not. They're pretty monotone and they're very vaggish. A bit boring, really. However, this thing feels alive and sounds absolutely great. So I won't waffle on with any more of it. It's a really, really good package, this stuff. And yeah, if you want to buy just a few bits and pieces, great. You don't have to have it all. You can just cherry pick as you go along. But honestly, it is well worth doing. Maximise that Evo engine, the 888 engine. And if you need it fitted, bring it to us. We'll happily install it. But we also design these products so you can do it on your drive. We got a series at the moment where it's driveway mechanic, worth a watch, all of those really good guides of how to fit these products. So this is now going to go off to the dyno with the boys and we see what it's made. But you know, pub figures aside, how it feels on the road is profound.
Okay, so we're back at Performance Remaps. Chris has just dynoed it. Obviously, you've seen everything that Paul was installing on it. Some really impressive gains. We're really pleased with this. As we said in the earlier sections of the videos, we're focusing on intercooler, induction kit, and inlet hose. We have fitted some of the other goodies for Jake that you saw Paul fit, but the good results, obviously, from the inlet side of things is you can see straight away. So the red line is the original, blue line is what we've just ran. Immediate increase in horsepower there. It's coming through and picking up through the rev range nicely, so you can see those gaps there. And then at peak, so the original peak horsepower before we fitted any of the parts to it was 307. And now with the intercooler, induction kit, and inlet hose, we're at 326. So I'm not going to my maths, around 20 horsepower increase on there, a little bit more, but absolutely phenomenal results. Jake's going to be buzzing. We've got stage 1. We're going to list in the video all of the modifications that Jake already had, like the exhaust and things like that, so that you guys can see, you know exactly what he had, exactly what we've done to it. But we are super pleased with that. This is a package that you can get from us. You can put all the parts together. We're happy to sort out a deal. But yeah, amazing results. We're going to go and do some test driving now, take it back to Jake, and yeah, hopefully he loves it. But we are beyond pleased with that. So thanks again to Chris for dyno in the car, Paul for doing the install. But yeah, enjoy it. Have a look at the parts. Follow us on socials. Let us know if there's anything else you want us to do. Take it easy, everyone.